Good afternoon, everybody. It's Diana with stampingwithdie.com. Welcome to this week's Dies Shorts. Let me make sure, hang on a minute. Let me refresh, make sure I'm live in the right spot and not just on my phone. Okay, hold on a minute. I think so. Yes, okay, very good. Thank you so much for joining me today. It is Dies Shorts. And if you can tell by my shirt, look at my cute shirt. If anyone knows me, I'm not showing my boobs. I love French fries. And when I saw this shirt, I totally had to get it. And it's perfect for today. It's my Happy Friday shirt. So I showed it to Eric this morning. He just rolled his eyes. So, because he has such a fun mom. He has one that says Happy Hump Day, and it's a camel, and he wears it every Wednesday. I swear, it's like almost threadbare. He wears it so often. So anyway, so it's time for Mom to have a really fun shirt. All right. Hi, buddy. Yeah, isn't it so cute? Oh my gosh. I just had to, anyways, I just had to get it. All right. So hi, Joanne. So on Wednesday, I did that cute shaker card, and when I turn the phone, I will show it again. And it had me showing you what I do with the little die to go see what else will fit. And I went over top of the fish set, and I'm like, oh, I have to do an aquarium card. So that's what I'm going to do today because it turned out so stinking cute. All right, so let me turn my phone, and it started. So today is September, not quite, 2 weeks in September. So this is the hostess code for September. So this is the code that you want to use if you're ordering in my store. And don't forget, when you order, if you order $75 before tax and shipping, you have earned either goodies or guts. It's up to you. It's up to you. So when I send you your thank you email, because I send that usually right away, it'll say on there, do you want the goodies or the guts? And then we'll make a note so that when I send you, thank you cards and all that kind of stuff figured out, I'll know if you want the goodies or the guts. Okay, so this is the card that I did on a Wednesday. Super cute. I did 4 of those. So those are ready for Jeff to take to work at for Christmas time. Because I told you they would be a perfect card to hand to people, and I got them done, so I'm like so ahead of the game. All right, so anyways, so that made me want to do the fish card, right? All right, so let's get started. Where's all my stuff? Okay, so here's the stuff that I'm going to use. So this is the Tasteful Label dies, and we're going to use this fun little banner one here. Obviously, the Cloche dies, because I want that Cloche shape. The Seascape stamp set, and I'm using quite a few from that set. But these greetings were too big for what I wanted to do with it. So then I looked through my catalog, and I thought, oh, Enjoy Today would be good, right? Because it goes for anything. Enjoy Today can be birthday, it can be graduation, retirement, whatever. All right, so I just want to stick these back behind me. All right, without knocking stuff over. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit different. All right, so I played around with just the shape that I had used before, right? The Stitch So Sweetly, but I was like, okay, well, then it's a card, but I wanted it to be even more special, and I wanted it to really be like an aquarium, right? So what I did was I got out, we have these really cute Tombstone treat boxes. So I'm going to be using the Tombstone treat boxes, say that fast, the Cloche dies, the Subtle Shimmer sequins. Anything else on this page? I don't think so. All right, so I have those, and then some things from the main catalog. So what I did was on the larger of the two. So we have these cute boxes, and I've showed them before. And so this was just using it a different way. So what I did was I cut my cloche, and this is the larger one. So they look identical, but they're not, right? One's a little bit bigger, so then you have, it will like go into the side of each other for the lid in the bottom of the box. So what I did was I did my cloche shape. Now when you're doing your cloche shape, you want to make sure that you keep it down below this. So the first one I did, I was like, oh, well, I want this to be up into here. But then it was too high up. So then when I did my next one, I made sure to keep it down below this score. Okay, so just if you end up, doing one of these, just keep that in mind. All right. Then also, I had to cut a little piece of paper because this has to go in here because this is what's going to get stamped on. So we're just going to stamp on our little piece of paper. This one is going to be for the fish. All right, so let's get our fish stamped so he can be drawing while I'm doing everything else. All right, so this is just pumpkin pie. And let's just stamp our fish. So pumpkin pie, I just inked it up. So let me I'll stamp a couple. So I'll have a few already stamped and ready to go. All right, so there's a couple little fish. All right, so now let's go to this. So this is what our background's going to be stamped on. So let me close my pumpkin pie. All right, so we're gonna go Poppy Parade, and that's gonna be our coral. So we have our coral with the Poppy Parade, and that's just going to be stamped off to the side a little bit. So I love thinking of other uses for things, right? Because some people like, you know what, I don't do Halloween, so I'm not interested in those little tombstones. But this might make you think, oh, well, hey, I like fish. All right, then these, whatever these are, seaweed, maybe? Could it be seaweed? I don't know. I'm a stamper. I'm not a biologist. All right, so let's see here. So this is going to go over here. And that was Bermuda Bay. Then this is Coastal Cabana, because we're going to put a few little bubbles. So we have some Coastal Cabana. So bubble, bubble, bubble. All right. And then I want to put a little bit of sand. This is such a cute set, right? And it's solid. So if you're like, you know what, I don't like to color like you, hey, you don't have to with this one. All right. So this is a sand. And this is crumb cake. So I'm just going to put some sand on the bottom. All right. All right. Close the pads. My stamps are all inked all over the place, but oh well. All right. Let's close that up. Now we got to cut out our fish. All right. So we're going to cut our little fish out. And I am just I'm putting a little bit of a border around her. I'm not cutting right on the line. So originally I thought, you know what? I want to put my fish on a wobbler. I've done the wobblers before where they wiggle, but it was too high up and it was hitting the cloche. So I'm just going to put the fish on dimensionals. So she'll still be raised up. She just won't be so high that she will interfere and touch the cloche. Because once she's sealed in there, right? Like I couldn't have, if the wobbler was too high, it's not like, oh, I'll just, take it out of there. Because once you've got that cloche dome in there, you're stuck basically. So, all right. But I always like to, I can't tell you how many times I wake up in the middle of the night and I like either write, if I can have my notebook by me, half the time I forget. So I'll just turn my phone on and I'll type a note in my phone. And then I'm like, have to figure out what the heck was that spelling, because I'm hitting the wrong things with my fingers. But anyways, because I'm always thinking of different ideas. All right, so now, so we know that this is going to go here. Now, we want to put our little cloche in here, and you have to trim it. All right, so here's a cloche. So here's like the regular cloche. So it's going to go in here. But see right here, you put this in. You're not going to be able to fold it because these come to a point. So all I did was I just took my scissors and I just cut those points off. You know, so now there's no points. There's still adhesive, but there's no points. So when I put it in here, it's going to allow me to fold it. So just, you know, stick it in there and then just make sure that it's not going to be in the way. So let me trim this one just a little bit more. Just a tad. So just keep, you know, just keep checking it before you take your adhesive off. So that should be good. One more little trim. Because see, we're doing something with it that it wasn't really intentionally made for, right? Like I don't think when they made this they thought, oh, we're going to put a cloche inside the tombstone. All right. So that looks good now. All right. So then, see, this is going to go over here like that. All right. So my fish, I just want to make sure I'm putting my fish in the right spot. So that looks pretty good. So my fish needs to go about there. So just keep, you know, just kind of dry fit it. I guess that's, I keep saying that. I don't know if that's the right words or not, but, you know, before you really glue it, you know, just do it without the glue. All right, so you can get it in place. So we've got our little fish here. So see, I'm just making sure before I take everything apart. All right, I also want to give the fish an eye. I don't really care for, hi Ian, I really don't like the fish without an eyeball in it. So I'm using, these are the matte black dots. So I'm using the smaller size. So now our fish has that nice little bulging eyeball like a fish would, but I want to give it a little pupil. So of course my gel pen comes to the rescue. So these are just a little gel pen I get off of Amazon. But so I'm just going to put a little dot there on the eye. So now the eye, the fish looks alive, right? It doesn't look like it's dead. All right. So we'll let that dry for a second. Then we can peel this off. So now we can peel this off and stick it in our box. And then just kind of push that around. And then we're going to form our box. So that I kind of like, you go like this because I did it on my lap before because this is sticking out, right? So it's a little, it kind of boings around on the desk. Hang on a minute. I just don't want to scratch it up. So let me get a paper towel. I just don't want to scratch it by putting it on my table. So that's why I did it on my lap. But I want you to watch me fold the box. All right, so we're just going to get our edges all going. Now, if you didn't like the shape of the tombstone, I didn't mind it because to me it just looked like a fancy aquarium you'd have in your house. If you ever watch that TV show where they go in and they make these crazy aquariums for people, that's what this kind of reminds me of. Right? So I'm going to do it down on my lap. I'll show you the bottom one. It's just easier because of that, that dome
I can put it on my lap a little easier. But I'll show you the bottom box. It's put together the same way. All right, so hold on a minute. Hold on, I should have did the bottom one.
Just talk amongst yourselves.
All right, so hang on. Hang on. But like I said, if you don't like the shape of it being a tombstone, you could always trim that if you wanted. All right. So there's that. So let me show you the bottom box, and then you can see what I was doing off camera. All right, because they're put together identically. One is just smaller than the other. And they go together so quick. They kind of remind me of the boxes we had last year that were just plain. All right, they've already got their adhesive on them. So you just pull it, strip. Pull the strip. And then you just bring these in. Bring this in. And before I have it touch, I squeeze these edges in so I have the nice square here, right? It's not like crooked. All right, so do the same thing on the other. Let me show you again. So you bring this in. So what I mean was, like, see how they're spread like this? So if you bring this, it will stick, but they're in the wrong spot. So before you let it stick, bring these in with your fingers. And then that way you have a nice square and it's not going to be all like messed up. Now, I don't have anything to put in these, but I thought what would be perfect to put in these are those fish crackers, but I didn't have fish crackers. I even called Eric and I go, hey, do you have fish crackers at your house? Because I swear at one time he did. And he's like, no. So I'm like, okay, well, we won't have fish crackers. But wouldn't that be fun to put fish crackers in there? All right, so here we have this. So let's get back to this. So we have our little fish, and it's going to go in there. And that's one thing I did a little bit differently this time, was before I was so excited to put this together. So last time I actually glued my fish before I put my box together. All right, so we're just going to see if this will still work since I already glued my box together. All right, so let's see here. So I'm going to put some of these sequins in here. So this time I'm doing it the opposite. Remember yesterday? I put the sequins on this, and then I put my dome shape over top of it. Well, this time I'm going opposite. All right, I don't want too many of those. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm putting too many of those in all my talking. All right, but I also want to put some of these, and these are the From My Heart faceted gems. Because this, to me, kind of made me think of, like the stones that would be at the bottom of the fish tank, right? So I'm just trying to pick up some of the smaller ones. So these don't have any adhesive. They're just gems. So they work perfect in here. All right, so let's hope I can do this since I'm doing it the opposite. Good grief. Oop, hang on a minute. Here's one here. Get out of there. Get out of there. I need my glue to be in there. All right. We're going to peel. Look at me doing this backwards. I'm doing it backwards. That's when you go, you know what? We're going to do it. We're going to do this one over. All right. So here is this. That's why I do that extra one, right? All right. Crazy me. So when I do my editing, no one will know that that I redid this. All right, so hang on a minute. I do it on purpose so that you're seeing it twice. So then you're really learning because you saw it 2 times. So do you believe that? Do you believe it? I hope so. All right, so I'm just going to trim a little bit more. Trim, trim, trim. Because I was so excited to do it. I totally forgot that I need to put my fish in there. Okay, looks good. All right. So again, just like I did before, peel this off. That's why I always have one aside. Or more. Sometimes I have more. So if I boo-boo. All right. So that goes in there. All right. So this goes in there. All right. Now, so see, this is going to be a lot easier since I didn't put it apart didn't put it together. All right, then I'm going to take some green tip glue. But we need to knock these out of this one and put them in there. And I still will do that one. I just won't have anyone witnessing it. All right, so then we're going to put green tip glue up here. Come on, green tip glue. Is it Friday the 13th? Is it Friday the 13th? All right, you got to stick your little sticker in there and pull that little bit of dry caca out of the mirror. This one's almost dry. Where's my other one that I had? Hang on. Back up. Back up. We got our back up green tip glue. Oh, there we go. Hey, I just proved that anybody can do what I do, right? Anyone can go, oh my gosh. All right. So I'm putting the glue on here because you don't want to put it on your fish because you want to make sure it's only being put where you want it. You don't want to put it on here and then there's glue going to be showing. All right. So now I'm going to stand up and we're going to put this in there like that and then just kind of rub. I have lots of oops. So that's why the lives are kind of fun, right? Because, you know, the lives, it's live or Memorex or whatever. But when I do, you know, when I do those little fast videos, then I edit out. Because a lot of times, like when I'm watching it, I turn off the volume, obviously, so I can add that crazy music. All right, so I'm just rubbing to make sure this is good and dry. And a lot of times I'll see a lot of this if I'm not talking and I have just my hand moving. So I edited all the hand movements out. All right, so here we're going to put this together. All right, so what we got is this cute little fish now with all the little sand and all that kind of fun stuff. All right, so let's put this together like I did before, but I'm doing it on the desk because I don't want to mess it up again. All right. So peel, peel, peel. This one was fun to go through the cut and scan, not cut and scan, cut and emboss machine. Because the little tape got a little bit loose and it was stuck to my plate. I'm like, what the heck? But it had moved a little bit. So you might have to go back and forth when cutting through the tombstone because it's a little thicker, you know, but I just went zip a couple times. All right, so look how cute. All right, so then that goes on here. And what I liked about it is now it stood up. So that was what I had the problem with. It wasn't standing up, right? All right, so then I want to add our little greeting. So our greeting is enjoy today. And I'm going to put that along the bottom here. And I'm going to use a little black, whatchamacallit, dimensionals. And now I could have probably moved that fish up a little bit. Like now that I'm looking at it, I probably could have made the fish be a little higher. All right. But he's still adorable. Still so cute. All right. So what I should have done, I should have made a tiny little mark with a pencil. And then you wouldn't see it because the fish would cover it. And that would help you put your fish right where you wanted them. All right. So then we have, this is going to go right down here. So enjoy today. And like I said, you could put your little fish crackers in there or whatever you want. I also want to use, I wanted to put some ribbon on it. So I had the gingham ribbon. I was trying all sorts of ribbon. And then I thought, oh, this looks like fishnet, right? Like kind of like a fishnet. This is the metallic mesh ribbon. And I thought, I'm going to use this for my bow because it's, you know, it looks like a net. And it's adding really, really cute ribbon to it, but it's not in your face ribbon. So, all right, so I'm just making a bow. It's still attached to the spool, so you don't waste as much. All right, where's my ribbon scissors? Right here. And then I'm just going to stick it onto the box. So I'm going to make that a little bit smaller loop. But this is what I meant. If you are like, you know what, I don't like that it looks like a tombstone, you could, if you wanted, I mean, I'm not going to because I don't mind it. You could cut, right? You could cut it right there. You'd have to cut both of the ones. And then it would just be kind of like a box shape, you know? But it didn't bother me any that it, you know, had this shape to it. Because then it just looks like a cabinet, you know, like a fish cabinet. All right, then my glue dots, where I'm looking. So we're gonna put our glue dot and put our bow on. Put right there. Then I'll trim. Give these a haircut. All right. So they could still be trimmed a little bit, but just for heck's sake. All right, so there is that one. So here's the one I was looking at. You know, I always have one. So there's the other one. And I will finish that third one. But isn't that fun? Oh my gosh. It is so much. I just love thinking outside of the tombstone box when it comes to, see, I need to trim these a little bit more. So this one's trimmed a little bit better. And that fish is probably just a little bit higher on that one. But I love the bubbles in there. But isn't that cute? And that stamp set has little fish as well. Let's see. So see, it also has these little fish. So if you wanted, you could even put, you know, on that white one that I stamped, the coral and the whatever that stuff, the seaweed, you could even stamp on another color some little fish in the back, right? That might look cute too. So I might try that on the third one when I do that other one. But so anyways, so yeah, so definitely look through the catalog and come up with some other ideas, because you know, there's so many things you can do. Because this is what I did yesterday. Remember I said, oh, so this is what I did yesterday. I didn't put any shaker stuff in it because I thought, well, it doesn't need shaker stuff. It's just an aquarium. And then I got thinking, well, if I did this, I did that. So this is how it started. And then it turned into that. So, you know, but definitely think outside of the box. Let me know how much fun you have with the domes and the boxes, and if because this would be fun to hand out at Halloween even. I mean, it doesn't say Halloween, but you know, you could still set it on somebody's desk, because I like how they stand up, you know, because it stands up. It just looks cute. I love things. All right, so I'm going to say see you. I'm so glad that ribbon, Deborah. Yes, that ribbon is so awesome. And that's in the main catalog, I do believe. It was it was a returning fave, actually, because we had it last year in the mini catalog, and then it came into the big catalog. So you have the fish. Oh, just not the domes. Oh, you need to get the domes, Joanne. And then don't forget to get that the die that cuts them, right? Because you really don't want to have to cut that with your scissors. I mean, I don't even think I could. But so anyways, we also have, these are smaller. These are the mason jar domes. It would do the same thing. You just wouldn't have, you know, as much space. That Cloche one was perfect. You know, perfect for the tombstone. I mean, I did have to trim it a little bit, but see, here's the mason ones, so they're quite a bit smaller. No, not to say you couldn't. I might challenge myself, but so now I'm like going, ooh, I might want to do like
like a real little Halloween one in there, right? Like a Halloween scene inside there with the dome, with the cloche dome. So anyway, so hopefully that got your brains thinking, the gears in your head. Hopefully that gives you some ideas. I know now it's got my gears going, like, So anyways, but yeah, so get the domes, get the shaker boxes, and or the tombstone, and anyways, all that good stuff. All right, so if you have any questions, make sure you reach out to me. Have a great weekend, everybody. Yes, Joanne, your club order for sure. Make sure you holler at me if you have any questions. Otherwise, I will see you Monday for my Mimeograph Monday, and that will be 3 o'clock Arizona time, same channel. Have a great weekend, everybody, and have a great night. Bye for now.